Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today we will discuss the new topic that is related to the body temperature and its regulation, and also when it rises or it decreases. So, regarding the body temperature, the normal body temperature is, if you measure it in centigrade, it is 37 degree. If it is measured in Fahrenheit, it is 98.6. But for the normal body temperature, we have certain range that is in between the 97 to the 99 degree Fahrenheit. The temperature of the deep tissues of the body, that is called the core temperature, and it usually remains very constant within plus minus 1 degree Fahrenheit, except when a person has a febrile illness. The skin temperature, in contrast to the core temperature, what is core temperature? That is the temperature of the internal body. So the skin temperature, in contrast to the core temperature, rises and falls with the temperature of the surroundings. The skin temperature is important when we refer to the skin's ability to lose heat to the surroundings. Regarding the rectal temperature, it reflects the internal body temperature, that is the core body temperature. So you must remember that the temperature of the internal tissues, that is called the core temperature, and it can be measured from the rectum. And also the difference of the rectal and oral, that is, it is above to the normal body temperature, that is, it is above on the positive side more than 0.5 or 1 degree Fahrenheit. It is more than the normal um, temperature of the body tissues that are normally higher than the skin temperature. This is the difference between the temperature, not only the difference of the oral and the rectal region, but also the difference of the centigrade and the Fahrenheit. How it works orally and how it is measured rectally. That is, if there is hard work or hard exercise or emotion, that the range will be this one. But as compared to that, from the rectal region, somewhat higher than this temperature. And this is the centigrade and the Fahrenheit difference. So the next thing is how you are going to measure it, and the body is going to regulate your temperature. What is the thermoregulation? How our body gain temperature or heat, and how from where it is going to lose the heat. What are different pathways? How it is on the whole, how it is managed, how it is regulated. In humans, it is the core body temperature which is maintained by homeostasis. From this diagram, this is shown, that is during summer, how your body is reflecting, that is the circulation so much extensive, and during cold season, the difference is this one. Heat balance, how it occurs? It is the product of heat production, and how the heat is produced through the different ways we will discuss it later on. The heat production is equal to the heat loss. Heat production process is called the thermogenesis. Genesis means the production. Thermo means temperature. So heat production is the thermogenesis and heat loss is the thermolysis. Lysis means breakdown. So how the thermogenesis take place and how the thermolysis take place. The balance of these two, that is called the heat balance, and it is equal. Heat production is equal to heat loss, or they are going to balance each other. Through this diagram, we can see how the mechanism of the heat loss from the body take place. We have different mechanisms through the evaporation, through the radiation, conduction of the air, that is through the air currents, convection, and also conduction to the objects 3%. The maximum you can see from the radiation. Through this process, the maximum heat loss of the body that take place. Now I am going to show you a film in different stages regarding the thermogenesis and heat regulation, temperature regulation, how our body is going to act on different situation. The human body produces heat constantly and this process is called the thermogenesis. By allowing this heat to escape from the body, that is called the heat loss. The body maintains an internal temperature balance of these two factors that are going to maintain the internal temperature around the normal range, that is the 36 to 37 degrees centigrade. When the body is active, such as during exercise, a lot of heat is produced by the muscles and body temperature rises through the increase in the BMR, which is called the basal metabolic rate. During exercise, muscles are they are more active and more heat is produced. You can experience during exercise the sweating process. When it is hot out, direct sunlight or reflected heat can result in a rise in the body temperature, as you can see from here, even when the body is not active. So atmospheric temperature is going to affect the skin temperature, but not the core temperature. That is the temperature of the internal body. When body temperature rises, blood flow at the body surface under the skin increases to make it easier for heat to escape the body. Because blood circulates through the entire body, this temporarily results in an inadequate supply of blood and blood pressure falls. So through this animation, I am going to teach you that a smaller thing, that is the change in the temperature of your body, it is affecting not only the circulation but also the circulation that is through the entire body. It is going to affect the blood pressure also. So if it is not maintained or managed, it can lead to any abnormal condition. When this happens, not enough blood gets sent to the brain, resulting in a lack of oxygen reaching the brain, which may cause dizziness or lightheadedness and loss of consciousness. Some of you can experience it in summer, maybe might experience this one in summer season when they become faint or unconscious because of this process. That is called the heat syncope. Sweating is another way the body allows heat to escape when body temperature rises considerably. So it may happen, or if it exceeds heat syncope, that is brain loses its consciousness and unconsciousness occur and you may faint out. If the water that is lost through the sweating is not replaced adequately, this can result in dehydration. If the body remains dehydrated, what happens? Symptoms including generalized malaise, nausea and or vomiting and headache may occur. You may ask what is the meaning of this malaise? This is an abnormal condition of feelings uh, when you not feel easy. That is called malaise, or you um, nausea and vomiting. All these things, uncomfortable, uncomfortable feelings due to the dehydration. And this condition is called heat exhaustion. So through these animations I am going to teach you that how this thermoregulation occur, and and why it is so much important, because if you are not going to manage it, it can lead to unconsciousness or exhaustion, or your body also uncomfortable things, vomiting and all these things. So it must be regulated properly. Now the next thing is, what is the structure which is going to manage this one, or what is the structure which is regulating these conditions? Hypothalamus, which is located in the brain. This is a specific part of the brain which is going to control the temperature, and it acts as thermostat that makes thermoregulatory adjustment to deviations from temperature from the normal, either on the positive side or in the negative side. So both these extremes, either on the positive side, increased side or the load limits, they are managed by the part of the brain which is called the hypothalamus. Mechanisms are activated in two ways. Thermal receptors in skin provide input to the central command, and then direct stimulation of the hypothalamus through changes in blood temperature perfusing the area. That is not only the skin's receptor, they are going peripheral receptor. Through these receptors, the brain that becomes conscious and send impulses to the specific part which is going to control, that is the hypothalamus. And also the direct stimulation of hypothalamus through the changes in blood temperature perfusing area. The area of the hypothalamus that is perfused and blood circulating to that shows the increased temperature and stimulate the thermal regulatory center of the hypothalamus. What will be the after effects due to the orders coming from the hypothalamus to control the temperature? What happens? Thermal effects they occur, and these effects they are occurring through the blood vessels, sweat glands, endocrine gland, and skeletal muscle. The details of all these systems that will be discussed later on, either the vasoconstriction, that is narrowing of the blood vessel occur, or the dilatation occur, or the sweat glands they are active or not active, and different types of the endocrine glands they are also taking part in that one, in the control of the thermal regulation. So this is a summary how the hypothalamus is going to control these one. We will discuss all these effects one by one in following lectures, but here you must remember the thermoregulatory center is hypothalamus located in the brain. With this, we complete our today's lecture. Stay with us to watch the further lectures. Up till now, thank you and Allah Hafiz.